Okay, so first of all, really enjoyed the film. I want to start off with the idea behind Andy Somebody. It's an indie film, but there's a lot of really interesting high stakes involved. It's not an A to B story. Jeremy, can you just talk about the ambition behind the movie and how did you know that you guys could pull it off? It's a pretty ambitious story.
Well, yeah, it took place over 4 years. We actually started this, I think, in 2017, and we just thought, you know what, COVID hit. We were able to do some rewrites. We were able to take our time with it, and we were able to just go for exactly what we wanted. We wanted to make it actiony, but not lose the indie feel. So, yeah, we just had a lot of fun with it.
Jonathan, what's it like to play such a total heel? There is no layered redemption value behind him. There's nothing to be
There really isn't.
in his psyche. What's the joy, I guess, in playing such a character?
The joy was just the absolute, all of the fun things that I got to create to attack Jeremy essentially in this. I actually feel guilty. I still have Jeremy saved in my phone as Dickface from the movie. So every time Jeremy calls, it comes up as Dickface. So that's been like that was a real joy of the film, was just targeting Jeremy every day. And we were allowed to sort of ad lib a little bit. And so I would have fun creating things in character just for the fun of it.
Jeremy, what's it like? Just you're writing it, you're also the lead in it. That
Mhm.
would, I mean, just thinking about it gives me nerves. I mean, did you have nerves going into the production, or was this some like a dream that you've always had, or maybe the dream actually increased once you started creating the script?
Yeah, once we started writing it, it was pretty apparent to us that we had something special. And it's always fun when you have no one else meddling, because independent film, it's all you, and it's what you make of it. And I come from an improv background. I started in Improv Olympic in Chicago and Second City, and so that didn't scare me at all. I was really ready, excited to do this. My pilot at CBS got shut down during COVID, so that all my eggs went into this basket to get this film done, and bringing on great talent that you find. John Buckley. We lucked out. He walked in the room. Jesse and I, the director, we auditioned him, and he's an Australian guy, and we're like, oh my god, let's use that. Because remember, I don't know if you remember this, John. You're like, do you want me to use an American accent? And we're like, no, hell no, just
Yeah,
use,
that's right.
use
Yeah.
that. It somehow makes the character a little, just adds a little more to this guy coming to Chicago as an Australian transplant and being the scumbag of the earth, but slimy cool. There's something cool about this guy, and we loved when John walked in. He was confident, really just asked questions, ran with it, and we're like, that's our guy. We knew immediately. And he was so comfortable improvising. That improvising is so important for me, because you got to let actors bring something. And John definitely brought something. Well, everybody else brought some things too. So it was just made it more fun. That's why we got in this business, man, to have fun and play and all of that. So that was key for us.
I'm gonna put you guys on the spot. I mean, it's not one of the themes of the movie, but there's Chicago and Los Angeles in the film,
Oh yeah.
both wonderful places. I'm assuming to live. Just from your vantage points, what if you guys had your druthers? Where would you live, Chicago or LA, and why?
I can go first on this one if you like, Jeremy. Funnily enough, when I relocated to America, Chicago was my number one choice. I was going to go to Chicago first. I thought, you know what? I'm an Aussie. LA's kind of the big smoke. Chicago's the big smoke too. But I thought it was a really cool scene there. I thought it was a really cool sort of layout, culture, everything else. I thought I'd go there. But I had a talent manager at the time, and he was like, "Well, if you're going to go and get it a show, you got to go to LA." And so I was kind of then not railroad, but I did sort of switch just because of that. But had I had my initial choice, I would have ended up in Chicago first over
Really?
Los Angeles. Hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I've had the benefit of living in both cities. It's just what's great now is you don't have to live in LA. I like LA because I hate Chicago winters. But I love the city of Chicago so much. I'm a big sports guy. I love the Cubs. I love my Bears. I miss the food, although the food doesn't miss me because I got to drop a few. Let's be honest here, fellas. But I like LA too. People like to trash LA. LA's a massive city. It's like any big city. You make of it what you will. I miss the Friends. I miss the Improv. I miss those things. I miss Second City. I miss Improv Olympic. But I really like LA. I choose to live here. I've been here since 2007, so I like it.
Yeah. Jeremy, can you talk about Oh, go ahead, it's John.
I was going to ask, what would you choose, Greg? What do you like?
Well, no, I have no reference. I've been in LA since I was 10, and I only actually went to Chicago for a weekend. And whenever I told people I was staying in a nice hotel, so obviously I had very rose-colored view. And when I tell people in the hotel or just people out on the streets saying how beautiful the city is, to Jeremy's point, the first answer or the first response it would be, why don't you stay till the winter and get back to me?
Yeah.
Every single person says that. And Jeremy, I'm sure that's a rite of passage. Everyone's going to say that to any wide-eyed tourist to come to Chicago.
Everybody comes to Chicago to see a Cubs game. They always come when weather's nice, but you get on the train, it's 10 degrees, there's snow, there's mush on the ground, and it's just, you start to think like, why don't I live in warmer weather? But then again, the city's so great. What I love about Chicago, man, it gets over 30 degrees. People are like, I don't give a shit. I'm putting on my shorts, t-shirt. They act like it's 80 degrees outside. It's just a fun city. I do miss Chicago, but I'm an LA guy now, so I like it out here.
Can you guys speak to the fact that I really liked how Andy Somebody, I like the word somebody, the character, the protagonist itself doesn't have to be completely colorful, or it's a universal character where, as far as just kind of, obviously what he does is not very legal, but it's also about stepping outside your own comfort zone and trying to take a stand for your life. Is that one of the motivations behind writing this script and creating that character?
Yeah, it's something everybody can relate to. I mean, I've had office jobs where I just want to murder everybody. I want to steal everything. I hate every moment of my life. Just bad jobs. And you hear people talk in those jobs. They fantasize about something else. And so we just played out the, very simple thing where we said, what if this guy who's the most unassuming, John's character just, he shits on me all day. He just hates me. There's a scene in the bathroom where he respects my privacy. Never. He just comes in the bathroom. I'm on the toilet and he's just browbeating me. It's like, so we played out the fantasy of like, what if he just, cause he's the accountant, he's got access. What if he just did it? And then the fun is he has no plan after he does it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the flip side, John, your character is pretty much a bully and a criminal throughout most of the story. On the real side, what is your own fantasy? Because I was looking at your IG feed and you have cars, mountain bikes, your golden retriever. Do you have that fantasy of spending a lot of time out in nature, mountain biking, hanging out with your dog? And is that the golden life for you as far as being out in nature with the people and the animal you love?
Well, it's funny. This kind of also ties into what we were talking about earlier with Chicago and Los Angeles. Living in Los Angeles, I lived the sort of the Hollywood lifestyle for a while. But as you get older, you start to appreciate different things. And Los Angeles, we're actually kind of spoiled. You can live in the city, but I sort of live just on the edge of the city, in a town called Sherman Oaks, and from there you have this whole playground of California at your sort of beck and call. And so that is kind of how I've sort of shifted. I still live in Los Angeles, but I don't necessarily indulge in what you traditionally would think Los Angeles. It is mostly camping and hiking and mountain biking and all that sort of stuff. So from a personal point of view, yeah, that's definitely, as I've gotten older, those are the things that I appreciate the most. And California is just an absolute gold mine for all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, totally agree. What's it like? You're mentioning started a production in 2017. Now that it's coming out, what's both of your general feelings regarding the joy behind that? It's people will get to see the film.
It's just crazy how long it took. COVID hit us. Leslie, who plays opposite me. She got pregnant. Um, had a family. She moved to San Francisco. Just all the things that could come up, and on a low budget, and we still got this thing made, and we got it sold, and people are responding to it very well because I think there's a place for this. I think you see all the time people are kind of they're a little mad at Marvel. They're a little mad at like no real options. So comedy's coming back. We've got a fun little action comedy. It's going to be on Apple TV the 18th of this month, so we're excited about that.
I just think it's remarkable. It's remarkable the amount of time that's passed since we started this, and all of the incredible things that have happened in that period of time. And I just remember our director Jesse just saying, "Look, just do me a favor, don't get fat." So for 4 years, I was like, can't get fat, can't get fat, can't get fat.
When did you start eating? I guess after production stopped after 5, right?
It was hard, because during COVID, that was all I had was the food.
Yeah.
So, it was just a constant, we would do during COVID what we call prison workouts. We'd go to the park with the monkey bars and just try and stay fit during COVID, just in case we do another pickup shot. And I didn't want to mess with continuity too much and come out with a nice double chin and a little bit of a pot.
My final question is, just as cinephiles, can each of you name one of your all-time favorite movies, and what is it about this specific movie that resonates with you?
Oh man, I'm going to pick between two. I'm going to name two, but I'll go with one. Step Brothers. I just love how they don't care. And Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder takes so many risks. I don't think you could do that movie now. And it's just the funnest movie. It's just there is no fat on that movie. The jokes are all great. It pisses a lot of people off, so you're doing something good. It takes a lot of risks, and it's just one of the funniest movies, and it rips on Hollywood a little bit in the waist. And but yeah, it's just Tropic Thunder for me is just a perfect film.
What about you, John?
Well, I'd say, I don't know if you guys would know this necessarily. I'm showing my age a little bit here, but Monty Python: The Life of Brian has been. I don't know if you guys remember this one. My fiance, who's American, can't stand it. She thinks it's just absolute rubbish. But it's British humor, and it's basically what formed my sense of comedy over the years. I've watched it 1,000 times, and I just think it's the funniest movie that's ever been made. That's mine.
Thank you so much for your time. And I don't want to give too much away, but if this movie does really well and you guys have some extra bucks in your coffers, Andy Somebody Too, is that a possibility?
Well, John and I have actually talked. We're kicking around some ideas, maybe something else he and I can do. Andy Somebody Too. I don't know. I'd pump the brakes on that. I don't think there's an answer.
Can we have a role, whatever you guys are working on? Can we have some kind of role reversal as far as your characters?
We actually spoke about that, didn't we, Jerry? We were like, why don't we just, instead of going with that quintessential sort of character that we had this time around, actually kind of flipping the script entirely. Maybe brothers, maybe brothers, and Jeremy's the cool kid.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for your time. Really enjoy the film.
Appreciate it, Greg. Thanks for your time, mate.
Hey, thank you very much, Greg. Appreciate you.